Schoolgirl Osamu Dazai. The feeling of waking up in the morning is strange. It's like playing hide-and-seek, crouched silently in the pitch-black darkness of a closet, when suddenly Deco throws open the fusuma, flooding the space with daylight, and shouts, "Found you." The blinding light, the awkwardness, the pounding heart, the fidgeting with my kimono, the slight embarrassment as I emerge from the closet, and then the sudden, inexplicable surge of irritation. No, that's not quite it. It's more of a helpless feeling. It's like opening a box only to find a smaller box inside, and inside that, an even smaller one, and so on, 7 or 8 times, until finally, you reach a tiny box the size of a die. You carefully open it, and it's empty. Nothing inside. That's closer. The idea of eyes snapping open is a lie. My vision is murky, and gradually, as the starch settles, the liquid clears, and finally, my tired eyes open. Mornings feel somehow dishonest. Sadness wells up in my chest, overwhelming me. I hate it. I hate it. I'm at my ugliest in the morning. My legs feel heavy and exhausted, and I don't want to do a thing. Is it because I haven't slept deeply? The idea of mornings being healthy is a lie. Mornings are grey. Always the same. Utterly empty. Lying in bed in the morning, I'm always a pessimist. I get fed up. Ugly regrets pile up in my chest all at once, suffocating me, making me writhe. Mornings are malicious, Dad, I call out softly. Feeling strangely self-conscious and pleased, I get up and quickly fold my futon. As I lift it, I grunt, heave-ho, and immediately regret it. I never thought of myself as the kind of girl who'd use such a crude expression. Heave-ho sounds like something an old woman would say. How disgusting. Why did I say that? It's as if there's an old woman living inside me somewhere. It's unsettling. I'll have to be more careful from now on. It's like when you criticize someone for their vulgar way of walking, only to realize you're walking the exact same way. It's incredibly disheartening. I always lack confidence in the morning. I sit in front of my vanity in my nightgown. Without my glasses, my reflection is slightly blurred and soft. I hate my glasses more than anything about my face, but they have a hidden benefit that others don't realize. I love taking them off and looking into the distance. Everything becomes hazy, dreamlike, like a peep show. It's wonderful. I can't see anything ugly. Only large shapes, vibrant colors, and bright lights reach my eyes. I also like looking at people without my glasses. Everyone's face appears gentle, beautiful, smiling. And when I'm not wearing my glasses, I never feel like arguing with anyone or saying anything mean. I just stay quiet, spaced out. And when I'm like that, I think I must appear good-natured to others, which makes me feel even more at ease and affectionate, and my heart softens. But I still hate my glasses. They erase any sense of my face having features. They block all the emotions that emanate from a face: romanticism, beauty, intensity, weakness, innocence, melancholy. And it's almost comically impossible to communicate with my eyes. Glasses are monstrous. Perhaps because I constantly dislike my own glasses, I believe having beautiful eyes is the most desirable trait. Even if someone lacks a nose or their mouth is hidden, if their eyes are the kind that make you want to live a more beautiful life, that's enough. My eyes are just big and empty. Looking at them closely makes me feel disappointed. Even my mother says they're dull. These are what they call lifeless eyes. They're like embers, and the thought depresses me. This is how it is. It's awful. Every time I look in the mirror, I desperately wish for expressive, beautiful eyes. Eyes like a blue lake, eyes like someone lying in a blue meadow gazing at the vast sky. Sometimes clouds drift by and reflect in them. Even the shadows of birds appear clearly. I want to meet lots of people with beautiful eyes. It's May starting today. The thought makes me feel a little buoyant. I'm happy after all. Summer is almost here. I step out into the garden and notice the strawberry blossoms. The fact that my father is dead feels strange. The idea of dying and disappearing is difficult to grasp. It doesn't sit right with me. I miss my older sister, people I've parted ways with, people I haven't seen in a long time. In the morning, I'm always reminded of the past, of those who are gone, as blandly as the smell of pickled radish, and I can't stand it. Jappy and Car, I call her Car because she's a pitiful dog, come running, tangled together. I make them sit side by side and lavish affection on Jappy alone. Jappy's pure white fur is shiny and beautiful. Car is dirty. I know Car looks heartbroken when I favor Jappy. I also know Car is lame. I don't like Car because she makes me sad. She's so pitiful that I can't help but be mean to her. Car looks like a stray, and I'm afraid the dog catcher will take her away. Since Car is lame, she'll be slow to escape. Car, go away, into the mountains or somewhere. No one will ever love you, so you might as well die. I'm not just mean to Car, I'm mean to people too. I enjoy troubling and provoking them. I'm truly a nasty girl. Sitting on the veranda, stroking Jappy's head, I gaze at the fresh green leaves, and a wave of sentimentality washes over me. I want to sit on the earth. I feel like crying. I take a deep breath, trying to make my eyes bloodshot, thinking I might be able to squeeze out a few tears, but it's no use. Maybe I've become a woman without tears. Giving up, I begin cleaning the house. While cleaning, I absent-mindedly start humming the ballad of Oichi the Foreigner. I glance around, slightly startled. It's funny that I, who usually immerses myself in Mozart and Bach, would unconsciously hum the ballad of Oichi the Foreigner. Lifting the futon and grunting heave-ho, humming the ballad of Oichi the Foreigner while cleaning, maybe I'm a lost cause. I worry about the vulgar things I might say in my sleep. But I find it amusing and stop sweeping to laugh to myself. I put on the new underwear I finished sewing yesterday. I embroidered a small white rose on the chest. It won't be visible under my clothes. No one will see it. I'm proud of my mother, busy as ever with someone's marriage proposal, left early this morning. I've been used to my mother devoting herself to others since I was little, but it's truly astonishing how constantly she's on the go. I admire her. My father was always engrossed in his studies, so my mother took on his social duties as well. My father was far removed from social gatherings, but my mother truly excels at creating pleasant company. They were different in many ways, but they seemed to respect each other. A beautiful, peaceful couple, free of ugliness, perhaps? Oh, how presumptuous of me. While waiting for the miso soup to heat up, I sit by the kitchen door, gazing blankly at the woods in front. Then, I have this strange feeling, as if I've done this before, in the past and also in the future, sitting in this exact same posture, thinking the exact same thoughts while looking at these woods. This happens sometimes. I'll be sitting with someone, talking, and my eyes will fixate on a corner of the table, unmoving. Only my mouth continues to move. That's when these strange illusions occur. I remember talking about the same thing, in the same position, while looking at the same corner of the table, and I become convinced that this exact moment will repeat itself in the future. No matter how remote the country road I'm walking on, I think, I've definitely been here before. Even if I pluck a bin leaf by the roadside, I think, I've plucked this very leaf from this very spot before. And I believe that I'll walk this road many, many times again and pluck this bin leaf from this spot. There's also this. Once, while taking a bath, I happened to look at my hand. And I thought, years from now, when I'm in the bath again, I'll definitely remember this moment, this casual glance at my hand, and the feeling I experienced then. The thought made me feel gloomy. Another time, one evening, while transferring rice to a container, I felt something. Calling it inspiration would be too grand. Something flashed through me, something like the tail end of a philosophical thought. It hit me so hard that my head and chest became completely transparent, and I felt a sense of calm about life, a feeling of being able to drift along, beautifully and effortlessly, like Tokoroten gently being pushed out of a mold. That time, it wasn't just a brush with philosophy. It was a premonition of living silently, like a cat burglar, and it frightened me. If that state of mind continued, I thought, wouldn't I become some kind of prophet? Like Christ. But a female Christ, that's distasteful. Did I end the end? Is it because I have too much free time, because I don't have the struggles of daily life, that the hundreds, thousands of sensations I experience each day become unprocessed, and while I'm spaced out, they materialize and float before me like ghosts? I eat lunch alone in the dining room. I eat my first cucumber of the year. Summer arrives with the greenness of cucumbers. The green of a May cucumber carries a sadness that makes my chest feel hollow, a kind of ticklish ache. Eating lunch alone in the dining room makes me desperately want to travel. To ride a train. I read the newspaper. There's a picture of Kono. Is Kono considered handsome? I don't like that kind of face. His forehead is off-putting. The book advertisements are the most enjoyable part of the newspaper. Each character, each line probably costs 100 or 200 yen, so everyone tries their best. Every single word is a masterpiece, wrung out through intense effort. There are probably few other examples of such expensive writing in the world. It's strangely satisfying. Exhilarating. After lunch, I lock up and head to school. I'm pretty sure it won't rain, but I still want to carry the nice umbrella my mother gave me yesterday. This umbrella is one my mother used when she was a young woman. I'm a little proud of having found such an interesting umbrella. I want to walk through the back streets of Paris with this umbrella. I'm sure after this war is over, antique umbrellas like this, full of dreams, will come back into fashion. A bonnet-style hat would definitely suit this umbrella. A pink kimono with a long hem and a wide collar, long gloves knitted from black silk lace, and a wide-brimmed hat adorned with beautiful purple violets. And I'll have lunch at a Parisian restaurant in the deep green of spring. Leaning my cheek on my hand melancholically, watching the flow of people outside, someone gently taps my shoulder. Suddenly, music plays, the Roses from the South Waltz. Oh, how ridiculous. The reality is this old, quirky umbrella with its long, awkward handle. I feel pathetic and sorry for myself. I'm like the little match girl. I'll go pick some weeds before leaving. I pull some weeds in front of our gate, my labor service for my mother. Maybe something good will happen today. Even among weeds, I wonder why some make me want to pull them out and others I want to leave untouched. There are cute weeds and not so cute weeds, their shapes are identical, yet there are charming ones and disgusting ones. Why are they so clearly divided? There's no logic to it. A woman's likes and dislikes are so arbitrary. After 10 minutes of labor service, I hurry to the train station. As I walk through the fields, I have a strong urge to paint. On the way, I take a shortcut through a path in the shrine's woods. This is a secret path I discovered. Walking along the path, I look down and notice patches of wheat sprouts, about 2 inches tall, growing here and there. Seeing the vibrant green wheat, I realize that soldiers have been here again this year. Last year, too, many soldiers and horses came and rested in these woods. A while later, when I passed through, the wheat was growing just like today. But it didn't grow any taller. This year, too, the wheat that sprouted from the horses' spilled feed buckets, growing feebly in this dark, sunless forest, will sadly die after growing only this much. Emerging from the shrine woods, I approach the station and encounter 4 or 5 laborers. As usual, they hurl unspeakable obscenities at me. I'm at a loss for what to do. I want to overtake them and hurry ahead, but to do so, I'd have to squeeze between them, brush against them. It's terrifying. But to stand there silently, letting them pass, waiting until there's a significant distance between us, would require even more courage. It would be rude, and they might get angry. I start to flush, feeling like crying. Ashamed of my tears, I smile at them. Then, slowly, I follow behind them. It's over quickly, but the humiliation lingers even after I board the train. I long to be strong, pure, and unfazed by such trivial matters. There's an empty seat near the train entrance. I quietly place my things on it, adjust the pleats of my skirt, and am about to sit down when a man wearing glasses calmly removes my belongings and takes the seat. "Excuse me, I found that seat," I say. The man gives a wry smile and continues reading his newspaper, unperturbed. When I think about it, I'm not sure who's being more audacious. Maybe it's me resigned. I place my umbrella and belongings on the overhead rack and grab a strap. As usual, I try to read a magazine, flipping through the pages with one hand, when a strange thought occurs to me. If I were to take away my reading habit, I, inexperienced as I am, would probably burst into tears. That's how much I rely on what's written in books. I read a book, become completely absorbed in it, trust it, identify with it, resonate with it, and try to apply it to my life. Then, I read another book and immediately change my mind, adapting to the new perspective. My talent, my cunning, for stealing other people's ideas and making them my own is my only special skill. This deceit, this pretense, truly disgusts me. If I experienced failure after failure every day, constantly embarrassing myself, maybe I'd develop some substance. But even with those failures, I'd probably find some way to rationalize them, cleverly patch things up, construct a plausible theory, and even revel in the theatrics of it all. I've read these words in a book somewhere. I truly don't know which is the real me. If I run out of books to read, if I can't find any more models to imitate, what will I do? I might become paralyzed, shrinking inward, constantly sniffling. In any case, it's no good just drifting along, lost in thought like this every day on the train. An unpleasant warmth lingers in my body, making me restless. I feel I must do something, change something, but how can I grasp my true self? My self-criticism so far has been utterly meaningless. When I criticize myself and notice my flaws and weaknesses, I immediately wallow in them, coddle them, and conclude that it's wrong to sharpen the horns to kill the ox. So, what's the point of criticism? It's probably more honest to stop thinking altogether. This magazine has an article titled The Flaws of Young Women, with contributions from various people. Reading it, I feel self-conscious, as if they're talking about me. And depending on the writer, the people I usually consider foolish say foolish things, while the ones who seem fashionable in their photos use fashionable language. It's amusing, and I chuckle as I read. The religious writers immediately bring up faith, the educators harp on gratitude, the politicians quote Chinese poetry, and the writers try to sound sophisticated, using affected language. They're all showing off, but much of what they write is true. Lack of individuality. Lack of depth. A distance from genuine hopes and ambitions. In other words, a lack of ideals. A tendency to criticize without actively connecting those criticisms to one's own life. Lack of self-reflection. Absence of true self-awareness, self-love, and self-respect. An inability to take responsibility for the consequences of one's actions, even courageous ones. Skillful at adapting to and managing one's immediate environment, but lacking genuine, strong affection for oneself and one's surroundings. Absence of true humility. A dearth of originality, only imitation. A lack of the fundamental human sense of love. A pretense of refinement without actual grace. And many other things are written. Reading this, I'm often struck by the truth of it. I can't deny it, yet, all the words here feel optimistic, detached from the writer's usual sentiments, as if they've just written them for the sake of writing. There are many qualifiers like true and genuine, but what exactly is true love, true self-awareness? They don't explain it in a tangible way. Maybe they understand it themselves. But if they do, it would be far more helpful if they could simply tell us, with authority, go right, or go left. We've lost our way in expressing love, so instead of saying, don't do this, don't do that, it would be so much better if they told us with conviction, do this, do that. We would all follow their instructions. Does no one have any confidence? Perhaps even these contributors don't always adhere to the opinions they've expressed here. They criticize us for lacking genuine hopes and ambitions, but if we were to pursue genuine ideals, would they guide and support us all the way? We have a vague sense of where we should go, the beautiful place we long to reach, the place where we should strive to grow. We want to live good lives. We have genuine hopes and ambitions. We're desperately seeking unwavering beliefs to rely on. But if we, as young women, try to embody all of this in our lives, how much effort would it require? We have to consider the perspectives of our mothers, fathers, older sisters, and brothers. They might pay lip service to how old-fashioned we are, but we don't look down on our elders, the older generation, or married people. On the contrary, we always respect them. We also have relatives who are constantly involved in our lives. We have acquaintances. We have friends. And there's always society, exerting a powerful influence on us. Considering and observing all of this, nurturing our individuality becomes a secondary concern. We can't help but feel that it's best to quietly follow the path most people take, to avoid standing out. It seems cruel to impose an education intended for a minority on everyone. As we grow older, we realize the vast difference between the moral education we receive at school and the rules of the real world. If you strictly adhere to the school's morals, you'll be seen as a fool, an eccentric. You won't succeed in life and will always be poor. Does anyone truly never lie? If such a person exists, they're destined to be a loser. Among my relatives, There's someone who lives with integrity, firm beliefs, pursuing ideals in the truest sense, but everyone in the family criticizes them, treats them like a fool. Even though I know I'll be ridiculed and defeated, I can't defy my mother and everyone else to pursue my own way of thinking. It's terrifying. When I was little, if my feelings clashed with others, I would ask my mother, why? She would always dismiss me with a single word and get angry. She'd say I was bad, delinquent, and she seemed sad. I once asked my father. He just laughed silently. Later, I heard him tell my mother, she's an eccentric child. As I grew older, I became timid and anxious. Even when choosing clothes, I started considering what others would think. I secretly cherish my individuality, I want to embrace it, but it's terrifying to express it openly. I always try to be the kind of girl people approve of. When I'm in a large group, I become so subservient. I chatter away, saying things I don't mean, things that are completely contrary to my feelings. I do it because it's advantageous, because I think it will benefit me. It's disgusting. I wish morality would change soon. Then I wouldn't have to be so subservient, living each day for the expectations of others. Oh, look, a seat has opened up. I quickly grab my things, an umbrella from the rack, and swiftly slip into the seat. To my right is a middle school student, and to my left, a woman with a baby on her back, wearing a padded kimono. She's old but wears heavy makeup and has a trendy hairstyle. She has a pretty face, but the wrinkles on her neck are dark and deep, repulsive, and I want to punch her. The thoughts that cross our minds when we're standing are completely different from when we're sitting. Sitting down, I tend to think unreliable, listless things. Across from me, 4 or 5 salarymen, similar in age and appearance, sit vacantly. They're probably around 30. I find them all repulsive. Their eyes are cloudy and dull. They lack spirit. But if I were to smile at one of them right now, just that simple act could lead me down a path where I'd end up marrying him. For a woman, a single smile can determine her destiny. It's terrifying. Unbelievably so. I have to be careful. I'm thinking such strange things this morning. For the past few days, the face of the gardener who comes to tend our garden has been haunting me. He's undeniably a gardener, but there's something different about his face. To put it dramatically, he has the face of a philosopher. His dark complexion makes him look distinguished. He has beautiful eyes. And thick eyebrows. His nose is quite prominent, but it suits his dark skin, giving him an air of strong will. His lips are nicely shaped. His ears are a little dirty. His hands are definitely those of a gardener, but his face, shaded by a deep-brimmed hat, seems too refined for a gardener. I've asked my mother 3 or 4 times, was that gardener always a gardener, until she finally scolded me. The furoshiki I wrapped my belongings in today is the one my mother gave me the day the gardener first came. That day, we were having a major house cleaning, and the kitchen repairman and the tatami maker were also there. My mother was organizing the dresser drawers, and that's when she found this furoshiki and gave it to me. It's a beautiful, feminine furoshiki. It's so pretty that I almost don't want to use it. I sit here, holding it on my lap, looking at it, stroking it. I want everyone on the train to see it, but no one notices. If anyone were to simply glance at this lovely furoshiki, I would decide to marry them. When I think about the word instinct, I feel like crying. The power of instinct, the force we can't control with our will, when I become aware of it through various experiences, I feel like I'm going crazy. What am I supposed to do? I feel lost. It's neither denial nor affirmation, it's just this immense thing that has enveloped me entirely. And it's dragging me around at will. There's a part of me that enjoys being dragged along, and another part that observes it with sadness. Why can't we be content with ourselves, love ourselves completely throughout our lives? It's pathetic to see instinct devouring my emotions, my reason. After any moment of self-forgetfulness, I'm filled with disappointment. It's heartbreaking to realize that even this version of myself, possess these instincts. I want to call out to my mother and father. But then again, perhaps truth lies in the very things I find repulsive, which makes it all the more pathetic. We're already at Okanamizu station. Stepping onto the platform, I feel completely refreshed. I try to recall my earlier thoughts, but they evade me. I try to pick up where I left off, but my mind is blank. Empty. There were moments of deep emotion, moments of pain and embarrassment, but once they pass, it's as if nothing happened. The present moment is strange. As I try to grasp it, saying, now, 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 it slips away, and a new now arrives. Climbing the stairs to the bridge, I think, what nonsense. It's absurd. Maybe I'm a little too happy. Ms. Kosugi looks beautiful this morning. As beautiful as my furoshiki. She looks stunning in blue. The crimson carnation on her chest stands out. If she weren't so affected, I would like her even more. She puts on too much of an act. It feels forced. She must be exhausted. Her personality is also somewhat complex. There are many things I don't understand about her. She seems to have a dark nature, yet she tries too hard to appear cheerful. But despite all that, she's captivating. It seems a waste for her to be a schoolteacher. She's not as popular in the classroom as she used to be, but I, at least, am still drawn to her. She reminds me of a young lady living in an old castle in the mountains, by a lake. I've praised her excessively. Why are Ms. Kosugi's lectures always so stiff? Is she not very intelligent? It makes me sad. She's been going on and on about patriotism, but it's so obvious. Everyone loves the place they were born. How boring. I rest my chin on my desk, gazing blankly out the window. The clouds are beautiful, perhaps because of the strong wind. 4 roses are blooming in the corner of the garden, 1 yellow, 2 white, and 1 pink. Staring at the flowers, I think, humans have their good points. Humans discovered the beauty of flowers, and humans love them. During lunch break, ghost stories come up. Yasabi's tale, one of the 7 wonders of first high school, the unopenable door, makes everyone shriek. It's not a grotesque story, but a psychological one, which makes it even more intriguing. All the excitement has made me hungry again, even though I just ate. Mrs. Anpan treats us to caramels. Then we all become engrossed in more scary stories. Everyone seems to enjoy ghost stories. Perhaps it's a form of stimulation. And then, although not a ghost story, the story of Fuzunosuke Kuhara. Oh, it's hilarious. During afternoon art class, we all go outside to sketch in the schoolyard. Why does Mr. Ito always go out of his way to make me uncomfortable? Today, he asks me to model for his painting. My old umbrella has become quite popular with the class, causing such a commotion that Mr. Ito noticed it and asked me to stand by the roses in the corner of the schoolyard, holding the umbrella. He's planning to exhibit the painting in an upcoming exhibition. I agree to model for 30 minutes. I'm happy to be of service to others, even in a small way. But being alone with Mr. Ito is exhausting. His conversations are long-winded and overly analytical, and perhaps because he's so conscious of me, even while sketching, he talks only about me. It's tedious and annoying to respond. He's a vague person. He laughs nervously, gets embarrassed even though he's a teacher. He's just not straightforward, which is irritating. You remind me of my deceased younger sister, he says, which is just too much. He seems like a nice person, but he overgesticulates. Speaking of gestures, I'm no slouch in that department either. Mine are even more cunning and calculated. I'm so affected it's embarrassing. I say things like, I'm a phony, a liar, trapped by my own pretense, which is, of course, another pretense, so I can't break free. Even as I obediently model for the teacher, I'm desperately praying, I want to be natural, I want to be genuine. I should stop reading books altogether. I despise this life of abstract ideas, this arrogant, superficial knowledge. I worry and fret about lacking a purpose in life, about needing to be more proactive, about my own contradictions, but it's all just sentimentality. I'm just coddling and comforting myself. And I have a vastly inflated opinion of myself. The teacher's painting is sure to be rejected, using someone with a heart as dirty as mine as a model. It can't possibly be beautiful. It's wrong of me, but I can't help but feel contempt for Mr. Ito. He doesn't even know that my underwear has a rose embroidered on it. Standing still in the same position makes me desperately want money. 10 yen would be nice. I really want to read Madame Curie. Then, I suddenly think, I hope Mother lives a long life. Being a model is strangely tiring. I'm utterly exhausted after school, I secretly go to a beauty salon in the Hollywood district with Kinko, the temple priest's daughter, to get my hair done. I'm disappointed with the result. It's not what I asked for. I look utterly unattractive. I feel wretched. Deeply dejected. I feel like a dirty hen, sneaking off to get my hair done like this, and I regret it deeply. Going to places like this makes us feel like we're devaluing ourselves. Kinko is extremely cheerful. Should I go on a matchmaking date like this? She blurts out, and then she seems to fall under the illusion that she's actually going on a matchmaking date. What kind of flower should I wear with this hairstyle? She asks, and what kind of obi should I wear with a kimono? She's completely serious. She's such a carefree, simple person. Who are you going on a matchmaking date with? I ask, laughing like attracts like, she replies smugly. Confused, I ask what she means, and she says that a priest's daughter is best off marrying a priest, because then she'll never have to worry about food. Her answer surprises me. Kinko seems to have no distinct personality, and perhaps because of that, she's incredibly feminine. We're not particularly close friends, just classmates who sit next to each other, but she tells everyone that I'm her best friend. She's a sweet girl. She writes me letters every other day and is generally helpful, which I appreciate, but today her excessive excitement annoys me. I say goodbye to Kinko and get on the bus. I feel inexplicably gloomy. On the bus, I see a repulsive woman. She's wearing a dirty kimono, her messy red hair wrapped around a single comb. Her hands and feet are filthy. She has a sullen, dark face that makes it hard to tell if she's male or female. And then, oh, I feel nauseous. The woman is heavily pregnant. She keeps smirking to herself. A hen. I, too, sneaking off to a beauty salon in Hollywood to get my hair done, am no different from this woman. I recall the heavily made-up woman I sat next to on the train this morning. How disgusting. I hate women. Because I'm a woman myself, I'm acutely aware of the uncleanliness inherent in women, and it makes me grind my teeth in disgust. It's as if the lingering fishy smell of handling goldfish has permeated my entire being, refusing to wash away. The thought that I, too, will exude this feminine odor as I grow older, that there are things I can relate to about her, makes me wish I could die right now, while I'm still a girl. I suddenly wish I were sick. Seriously ill, sweating profusely, wasting away. Maybe then I could become pure. Is it something I can't escape as long as I'm alive? I think I'm beginning to understand the true meaning of religion. Getting off the bus, I feel a sense of relief. I don't like vehicles. The air inside is lukewarm and stifling. The earth is good. Walking on the soil makes me like myself. I'm a bit of an airhead. A carefree butterfly. Turn around, what do you see? Turning to look at the onions in the field, turn around, turn around. The frog is calling, so turn around. I hum softly and feel exasperated by my own lightheartedness. I hate this lanky, immature self. I want to be a good girl. This country road home is so familiar that I've become oblivious to its quiet beauty. It's just trees, a road, and fields. Today, I'll try to see it through the eyes of someone new to this countryside. I'll pretend to be the daughter of a Jita shop owner from Kanda, setting foot on suburban soil for the first time. How would this countryside appear to me then? What a brilliant idea. What a pathetic idea. I put on a serious expression and exaggerate my curiosity, looking around dramatically. Walking down a small tree-lined path, I look up at the fresh green branches and let out a small gasp of admiration. Crossing a wooden bridge, I gaze at the stream for a moment, my face reflected in the water. I bark like a dog, imitating its howls. Looking at the distant fields, I squint, feigning enchantment, and sigh, how lovely. I rest at the shrine. It's dark in the shrine woods, so I quickly stand up, saying, "Oh, how spooky," hunching my shoulders and hurrying through. Emerging into the brightness, I feign surprise. I make a conscious effort to experience the country road as if for the first time, with fresh eyes. But as I do, an overwhelming loneliness washes over me. I finally sit down in the grass by the roadside. As I sit, my buoyant mood vanishes, replaced by a sudden seriousness. I quietly reflect on my recent self. Why have I become so frivolous lately? Why am I so restless? I'm always anxious about something. Someone told me recently, "You're becoming vulgar." Perhaps they're right. I've certainly become frivolous. Empty. No good, no good. Weak, weak. I suddenly feel a scream welling up inside me. But shouting won't mask my cowardice. I need to change. Maybe I'm in love. I lie on my back in the green grass. Dad, I call out. Dad, Dad. The sunset sky is beautiful. And the evening mist is pink. The light of the setting sun melts into the mist, diffusing, and that's why the mist has become this soft pink. The pink mist drifts, swirling into the trees, walking along the road, caressing the fields, and then it gently envelops me. The pink light softly illuminates even each strand of my hair, caressing it gently. But the sky is even more beautiful. I want to bow my head to this sky for the first time in my life. I believe in God now. What color is this sky? Rose. Fire. Rainbow. Angel's wings. Cathedral. No, that's not it. It's something more divine. I want to love everyone, I think, feeling tears well up. As I gaze at the sky, it begins to change. It gradually turns bluish. I sigh, wanting to be naked. I've never seen leaves and grass so transparent, so beautiful. I gently touch the grass. I want to live a beautiful life. When I get home, we have guests. My mother is already back. As usual, lively laughter fills the air. When it's just the two of us, my mother's face might be smiling, but she's quiet. But when she's talking to guests, her face is expressionless, and only her voice laughs, high-pitched. I greet everyone and go to the back of the house. I wash my hands at the well and take off my shoes and socks to wash my feet. The fishmonger arrives, saying, "Thank you for waiting. Thanks for your business." He places a large fish by the well. I don't know what kind of fish it is, but its fine scales suggest it's from the northern seas. I transfer the fish to a plate and wash my hands again. The smell of summer in Hokkaido wafts through the air. It reminds me of the summer vacation 2 years ago when I visited my sister in Hokkaido. My sister's house in Tomakomai, being near the coast, always smelled of fish. I clearly remember my sister in the spacious kitchen, skillfully preparing fish in the evening with her delicate, white hands. I remember wanting to be close to her, yearning for her affection, but she had her baby, Tosha-chan, by then, and she wasn't mine anymore. The thought created a cold distance between us, and I couldn't bring myself to hug her slender shoulders. I just stood there in the corner of the dimly lit kitchen, watching her beautiful, gentle hands at work, feeling an unbearable loneliness. Past memories are all nostalgic. Family is strange. With strangers, distance fades memories, but with family, the beautiful, cherished moments become even more vivid. The Elanius berries by the well are tinged with a faint red. They might be ripe enough to eat in 2 weeks. Last year was funny. I was eating Elanius berries by myself in the evening when Jappy came and watched me. Feeling sorry for him, I gave him one. He ate it. I gave him 2 more, and he ate those 2. I found it so amusing that I shook the branches, and the berries fell, and Jappy started gobbling them up. Silly dog. I've never seen a dog eat Elanius berries before. I stretched out, picking berries and eating them, while Jappy ate the ones that fell. It was hilarious. Remembering this, I feel a surge of affection for Jappy and call out his name. Jappy comes running from the entrance, his tail wagging. Suddenly, I'm overwhelmed with affection for him. I grab his tail tightly, and he gently nips my hand. I feel like crying and pat his head. Jappy calmly laps up the water from the well. When I enter the house, the lights are on. It's quiet. Dad isn't here. Without Dad, the house feels empty, like a large, vacant space, making me want to writhe. I change into my kimono, kiss the embroidered rose on my discarded underwear, and sit in front of my vanity. Laughter erupts from the living room, and I feel a surge of irritation. My mother is fine when it's just the 2 of us, but when we have guests, she becomes distant, cold, and formal. At those times, I miss my father the most. I look in the mirror and am surprised by how lively my face is. My face is a stranger. It lives independently of my sadness, my struggles, my emotions. I haven't even put on blush today, yet my cheeks are flushed, and my lips are small and red, beautiful. I take off my glasses and smile gently. My eyes look lovely, clear and blue. Is it because I gazed at the beautiful evening sky for so long? How wonderful, feeling a little buoyant, I go to the kitchen and start washing the rice. As I do, sadness washes over me again. I miss our old house in Koganei. I long for it with a burning ache in my chest. Dad was there, and so was my sister. Mother was younger then. When I came home from school, mother and sister would be chatting in the kitchen or living room. I'd get a snack and cuddle with them, pick a fight with my sister, get scolded, and run outside, riding my bicycle far, far away. I'd come back in the evening, and we'd have dinner together. It was truly happy. I didn't scrutinize myself or feel unclean or awkward. I could just be myself, be loved. What an immense privilege I enjoyed, and so carelessly. Without worries, without loneliness, without pain. My father was a wonderful, good father. My sister was kind, and I always clung to her. But as I gradually grew older, I started to dislike myself, and my privileges vanished, leaving me bare, ugly. I could no longer be affectionate with others. I became lost in thought, and my life filled with difficulties. My sister got married, and Dad is gone. Now it's just mother and me. Mother must be so lonely. The other day, she said, I no longer find joy in life. Even seeing you doesn't bring me much happiness. Forgive me. Without your father, happiness is better not coming at all. When mosquitoes appear, she remembers Dad. When she undresses, she remembers Dad. When she trims her nails, she remembers Dad. When she drinks tea, she probably remembers Dad. No matter how much I try to comfort her, to be her companion, I can't replace Dad. Marital love must be the strongest bond in the world, more precious even than familial love. I blush at my own presumptuous thoughts and run my wet hands through my hair. As I swish the rice in the bowl, I feel a surge of affection for my mother and resolve to take good care of her. I should undo this wavy hair and let it grow long again. Mother always disliked my short hair, so she'll be happy if I let it grow long and tie it neatly. But it's annoying to have to go to such lengths to appease her. It feels insincere. Come to think of it, my recent irritability is largely related to my mother. I want to be a good daughter, perfectly attuned to her feelings, but I also resent having to constantly cater to her. It would be best if she could just relax and trust me, knowing how I feel without me having to say anything. No matter how selfish I am, I would never do anything to disgrace her or our family. Even when I'm struggling, lonely, or sad, I uphold what's important. I love my mother and this house. So, if she could just trust me completely and be carefree, that would be enough. I'll definitely make her proud. I'll work tirelessly. That's my greatest joy right now, and I believe it's my path in life. But mother doesn't trust me. She still treats me like a child. She's pleased when I act childish. The other day, I foolishly picked up a ukulele and started strumming it, pretending to be excited. Mother seemed genuinely happy and said, "Oh, is it raining?" I hear the sound of raindrops, teasing me, as if she thought I was truly interested in the ukulele. I felt so pathetic I wanted to cry. Mother, I'm an adult now. I understand the ways of the world. Please trust me, confide in me. If you told me everything about our financial situation, if you said, "This is our situation, so you too," I would never ask for new shoes. I would be a responsible, frugal daughter. I truly mean it. But I remember a song with those lyrics and chuckle to myself. I realize I've been standing there blankly, with both hands in the pot of rice, lost in thought. This is no good. I need to serve dinner to our guests. What should I do with that large fish? I'll fillet it and marinate it in miso. It'll be delicious. Cooking is all about intuition. There are some cucumbers left, so I'll make sonomino. And my specialty, tamagoyaki. And one more dish. Ah, I know. Rococo cuisine. This is my own invention. On each plate, I'll artfully arrange ham, eggs, parsley, cabbage, spinach, everything and anything left in the kitchen, in a colorful, beautiful composition. It's simple, economical, and although not particularly delicious, it makes the dining table look festive and extravagant. The green of parsley behind the eggs, a glimpse of the red coral reef of ham beside it, the yellow cabbage leaves arranged like peony petals, like a fan of bird feathers, and the vibrant green spinach, a meadow or a lake. When 2 or 3 of these plates are presented on the dining table, our guests are inadvertently reminded of the Louis XIV era. Well, maybe not quite, but since I can't cook delicious food anyway, I'll at least create a beautiful presentation to dazzle and distract our guests. Presentation is everything in cooking. It usually works. But this Rococo cuisine requires artistic flair. One must be exceptionally sensitive to color combinations to avoid failure. One needs at least my level of delicacy. I looked up the word Rococo in the dictionary the other day and laughed when I saw the definition: a style of decoration characterized by elaborate ornamentation but lacking substance. A perfect description. Beauty doesn't need substance. Pure beauty is always meaningless and immoral. That's a given. That's why I like Rococo d'Artes always. While cooking and tasting, I'm overcome by a profound emptiness. I become exhausted, gloomy, reaching a state of saturation with all my efforts. I start to feel indifferent to everything. Eventually, I give up, throwing all sense of taste and presentation out the window, rushing through the process with a sullen expression, and serving it to the guests. Tonight's guests are particularly depressing. Mr. and Mrs. Imida from Amori, and their 7-year-old son, Yoshio. Mr. Imida is almost 40, yet he has a fair complexion, like a pretty boy, which I find repulsive. Why does he smoke Shikishima cigarettes? Cigarettes should be double-tipped. Smoking Shikishima makes a person's character seem questionable. He keeps exhaling smoke towards the ceiling, saying, I see. He says he's teaching night school now. His wife is small, timid, and vulgar. She giggles nervously, her face almost touching the tatami, her body writhing at the slightest provocation. Nothing is even remotely funny. She seems to think her exaggerated laughter is a sign of refinement. In today's world, aren't people of this class the worst? The most vulgar? Are they petty bourgeois? Minor officials? Even their child is oddly precocious, lacking genuine, childlike energy. Despite these thoughts, I suppress them, bowing, smiling, making conversation, calling Yoshio cute and patting his head. I'm deceiving everyone with my lies, so perhaps even the Imadas are more pure than I am. They all eat my Rococo cuisine and praise my cooking skills. I feel a mixture of sadness, irritation, and a desire to cry. But I force a cheerful expression and eventually join them for dinner. Mrs. Imida's incessant, ignorant flattery is so irritating that I finally decide, I won't lie anymore, this food isn't delicious at all. I made it because I had nothing else to serve, I say, stating what I believe to be the simple truth. But the Imadas clap their hands and laugh, saying, what a clever way to put it. I feel so frustrated I want to throw down my chopsticks and bowl and burst into tears. I hold back, forcing a smile, and then even my mother says, she's becoming quite helpful, echoing their sentiments. Mother, you know exactly how I feel, yet you say such meaningless things to please the Imadas, laughing heartily. Mother, there's no need to go to such lengths to appease people like them. When you're with guests, you're not yourself. You're just a weak woman. Just because Dad is gone, does it mean you have to be so subservient? I feel a pang of sympathy and fall silent. Please leave. Please go home. My father was a remarkable man. He was kind and had noble character. If you look down on us just because he's gone, please leave immediately. I almost say these words to Imida. But I'm too weak. I cut ham for Yoshio and serve pickles to his wife. Continuing to play the role of the dutiful host after dinner, I immediately retreat to the kitchen to clean up. I want to be alone. It's not that I'm putting on airs, but I don't see the need to force myself to converse with or laugh with people like them any longer. I shouldn't have to be polite, or rather, to fawn over them. It's disgusting. I can't take it anymore. I've done my duty. Mother seemed pleased with my patient and pleasant demeanor. I wonder if that was enough. Is it better to clearly separate social obligations from my true self and deal with them efficiently and pleasantly, or is it better to remain true to myself, refusing to hide my true feelings, even if it means being criticized? I don't know. I envy those who can live their entire lives surrounded by people as weak and kind and warm as themselves. If one can live a life without hardship, why seek it out? It's better that way. Suppressing my true feelings to please others must be a good thing, but if I have to force smiles and make small talk with people like the Amadas every day for the rest of my life, I might go insane. I suddenly think, amusingly, that I could never handle prison. I couldn't even be a maid. No, being a wife is different. If I were truly devoted to someone, I could endure any hardship, work tirelessly, and find fulfillment in it. There would be hope. I could do it, too. Of course. I would work like a spinning top from morning till night. I would do laundry endlessly. Nothing is more unpleasant than a pile of dirty laundry. It makes me anxious, restless, hysterical. When I finally finish washing everything and hang it on the clothesline, I feel like I could die happy. The Amadas are leaving. Mother goes out with them, saying she has some errands to run. Mother willingly follows them. This isn't the first time the Amadas have used her. Their audacity disgusts me, and I want to hit them. I see them off at the gate and stand there, gazing blankly at the road in the twilight, feeling like crying. There's an evening paper and 2 letters in the mailbox. One is for Mother, a summer sale flyer from Matsuzakaya department store. The other is for me, from my cousin Junji. He's been transferred to a regiment in Mabashi. He sends his regards to Mother. It's a brief note. Even being an officer probably doesn't guarantee a glamorous life, but I envy the strict, efficient routine of military life. Always knowing what to do must be emotionally liberating. If I don't feel like doing anything, I wouldn't have to. If I were inclined to do something bad, I could. If I wanted to study, I would have endless time to do so. And I feel like I could fulfill almost any wish. I don't know how much it would help to have clear limits to my efforts. Being firmly bound might actually be a relief. I read in a book somewhere that the only desire of soldiers fighting in the war is to sleep soundly. While I pity their hardship, I also envy them. To be free from the tedious, chaotic, endless cycle of pointless thoughts, to simply yearn for sleep, must be a pure, simple, refreshing state of being. If I were to experience military life, to be thoroughly disciplined, perhaps I could become a more resolute, beautiful girl. Even without military life, there are genuinely good-natured people like Shin-chan. I truly am a bad person. A wicked girl. Shin-chan is Junji's younger brother, the same age as me, but why is he such a good person? I love Shin-chan more than anyone in my family, more than anyone in the world. Shin-chan is blind. To lose one's sight at such a young age. How tragic. I wonder what he's thinking, alone in his room on a quiet evening like this. We can distract ourselves from loneliness by reading or looking at the scenery, but Shin-chan can't. He can only sit in silence. He used to study so hard, and he was so good at tennis and swimming. How lonely and painful it must be for him now. Last night, thinking of Shin-chan, I closed my eyes for 5 minutes after getting into bed. Even lying in bed with my eyes closed, 5 minutes felt long and stifling. Shin-chan hasn't seen anything for days, months, morning, noon, and night. I would be happy if he complained, threw tantrums, or acted selfishly. But Shin-chan never complains. I've never heard him complain or speak ill of others. He always speaks cheerfully, with an innocent expression. That's what gets to me the most. Lost in thought, I sweep the living room and then start the bath. While tending the fire, I sit on a mandarin orange crate, using the flickering light from the coals to finish my homework. The bath isn't ready yet, so I reread Saint Kedan. The story itself isn't unpleasant or vulgar. But the author's affected style is noticeable in places, which makes it feel old-fashioned and unreliable. Is it because he's old? Foreign writers, no matter their age, seem to embrace their subjects with greater boldness and affection, and it somehow feels less pretentious. But this work is considered one of the better ones in Japan, isn't it? There's a quiet resignation underlying the story that feels refreshing. I feel like the author is a very conscientious person. He's so attached to Japanese morality that it creates a kind of backlash, resulting in many works that are strangely harsh. It's a kind of misanthropic tendency common among those with too much love. They deliberately wear a demonic mask, which weakens their work. But Saint Kedan possesses a quiet strength, tinged with sadness. I like it. The bath is ready. I turn on the light in the bathroom, undress, and open the window wide before sinking into the bath. The green leaves of the coral tree peek through the window, each one gleaming brightly in the electric light. Stars twinkle in the sky. No matter how many times I look, they continue to twinkle. I lie back, enchanted, and although I try not to, I'm vaguely aware of the pale whiteness of my own body somewhere in my field of vision. I realize it's different from the whiteness of my childhood. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm disturbed by the way my body grows independently of my will. It's sad to be unable to stop myself from becoming an adult, to just watch it happen. I want to remain a doll-like figure forever. I splash the water playfully, trying to act like a child, but I feel heavy-hearted. I start to feel like there's no reason to continue living, and it's painful. A child's voice calls out from the field beyond the garden, "Big sister." It's a half-sob, half-call, and it pierces my heart. The child isn't calling for me, but I envy the big sister who is being called for with such longing and affection. If I had a younger sibling who adored me like that, I wouldn't be living such a pathetic, confused life, day after day. Life would be more meaningful, and I would dedicate myself to my sibling, enduring any hardship. I would truly persevere through anything. Feeling a surge of determination, I suddenly feel sorry for myself. After the bath, I'm drawn to the stars and go out into the garden. The stars look like they're about to fall. Summer is almost here. Frogs are croaking everywhere. The wheat is rustling. No matter how many times I look up, the stars continue to shine brightly. Last year, no, it was 2 years ago now. I wanted to go for a walk, and even though Dad was ill, he went with me. My eternally youthful father. He taught me a German children's song that meant something like, "You'll live to be 100, and I'll live to be 99. He told me stories about the stars, recited impromptu poems, walked with me, using his cane, spitting, and snapping his fingers. My good father. Standing silently, gazing at the stars, I remember him vividly. 2 years have passed since then, and I've become a bad girl. I have so many secrets now that I go back to my room, sit at my desk, rest my chin on my hand, and look at the lilies. They smell lovely. The scent of lilies prevents impure thoughts from entering my mind, even when I'm bored and alone like this. I bought this lily yesterday evening on my way back from a walk to the station. Since then, my room has been transformed, feeling fresh and clean. Whenever I slide open the fusuma, the scent of lilies greets me, and it's so comforting. Gazing at it, I truly feel, in a visceral, sensory way, that it's more magnificent than all the splendor of Solomon. I suddenly remember last summer in Yamagata. In the mountains, I was astonished by the profusion of lilies blooming on a cliffside. I was mesmerized. But I knew I couldn't climb the steep cliff, so no matter how drawn I was, I could only look. Then, a miner who happened to be nearby silently climbed the cliff and, in no time, came back with an armful of lilies, more than he could hold. He gave them all to me, without a word, without a smile. I've never received so many flowers, not even on a lavish stage or at a wedding. I experienced for the first time the sensation of being dizzy with flowers. The enormous bouquet of pure white lilies was so large that I could barely hold it in my outstretched arms, completely obscuring my vision. I wonder how that kind, impressive, serious young miner is doing now. He went to a dangerous place to pick those flowers for me. That's all he did, but whenever I see lilies, I'll remember him. I open my desk drawer and rummage through it, finding a fan from last summer. It's made of white paper, with a picture of a woman from the Genroku period sitting sprawled in a casual pose, 2 blue Chinese lantern plants beside her. Last summer rises from the fan like smoke, life in Yamagata, train journeys, yakata, watermelon, rivers, cicadas, wind chimes. I suddenly want to take this fan and go on a train journey. The feeling of opening a fan is pleasant. The ribs unfold, and it suddenly becomes light and airy. I play with it, twirling it, when Mother returns. She's in a good mood. "Oh, I'm so tired," she says, but she doesn't look particularly unhappy. She enjoys helping others. "It was such a complicated matter," she says as she changes her clothes and goes to the bath. After her bath, we drink tea together. She smiles, and I wonder what she'll say. "You've been saying you want to see the barefoot girl, haven't you? If you want to go that badly, you can. But in return, Give me a shoulder massage tonight. It'll be even more enjoyable if you've worked for it. I'm overjoyed. I did want to see the movie The Barefoot Girl, but I've been indulging myself lately, so I've been holding back. Mother, perceptive as always, gave me a chore to do so I could go to the movies guilt-free. I'm so happy and grateful that I smile naturally. It feels like it's been a long time since it's just the two of us in the evening. Mother has such a busy social life. She probably makes an effort to avoid being looked down upon. As I massage her shoulders, I can feel her exhaustion, as if it's transferring to my own body. I think I'll take good care of her. I'm ashamed of resenting her earlier when the Amadas were here. I silently apologize. I'm always thinking only of myself, acting selfishly and thoughtlessly towards Mother. I've been oblivious to the pain and suffering I cause her each time. Mother has become truly frail since Dad passed away. I burden her with my own struggles and loneliness, yet I feel disgusted when she relies on me, as if I've encountered something unclean. It's truly selfish of me. Mother and I are both weak women. From now on, I want to be content with our life together, to always be mindful of her feelings, to talk about the past, about Dad, to create days that revolve around her, even if it's just for a day. And I want to find true fulfillment in that. I worry about Mother. I want to be a good daughter, but my actions and words are always those of a selfish child. And lately, I lack even the redeeming qualities of a child. I'm tarnished, full of shame. All this suffering, this anxiety, this loneliness, this sadness, what's the point of it all? I can't even articulate it, not a single noun or adjective. I just feel restless, and eventually, I get angry, like a, what? Women of the past are often criticized for being subservient, for being like insects or dolls, disregarding their own selves, but they possessed a genuine femininity that I lack. They had composure, the wisdom to endure hardship gracefully, the beauty of pure self-sacrifice, and the joy of selfless service. Oh, you're such a good masseuse. A genius. Mother teases me, as always, right? It's because I put my heart into it. But my talents don't end with massages. That alone wouldn't be enough. I have other good qualities. Expressing my honest thoughts feels so refreshing. I haven't spoken so frankly and cheerfully in 2 or 3 years. Perhaps true composure comes when we acknowledge and accept our limitations. I think happily tonight, I want to express my gratitude to Mother in various ways. After the massage, as a bonus, I read to her from Cure. Mother seems relieved to see me reading such a book. The other day, when I was reading Kessel's Belle de Jour, she gently took the book from me, glanced at the cover with a dark expression, and then silently returned it without saying a word. I felt a sense of disgust and lost interest in reading it. Mother has never read Belle de Jour, yet she seemed to instinctively understand its nature. Reading Cure aloud in the quiet of the night, my voice sounds loud and foolish, and I feel self-conscious in front of Mother. The silence amplifies the absurdity of it all. Whenever I read Cure, I experience the same emotions I felt as a child, and it makes my heart feel pure and clean. It truly is a wonderful book. But it feels quite different reading it aloud compared to reading it silently, which surprises and unnerves me. Mother weeps silently during the stories of Enrico and Garone. My mother is as wonderful and beautiful a mother as Enrico's. Mother goes to bed first. She must be tired after being out since early morning. I adjust her futon and smooth the edges. She always closes her eyes as soon as she lies down. Then, I do laundry in the bathroom. I've developed this strange habit of doing laundry near midnight. I feel like it's a waste of time to do it during the day, although perhaps it's the other way around. I can see the moon through the window. Crouching down, as I scrub the clothes, I smile at the moon. The moon ignores me. I suddenly become convinced that at this very moment, somewhere, a poor, lonely girl is doing laundry just like me, smiling at this very moon. I imagine her vividly, a distressed girl silently doing laundry in the back of a solitary house on a mountaintop in a remote village, late at night. And then, in the corridor of a shabby apartment in a back alley of Paris, another girl my age is secretly doing laundry alone, smiling at the moon. I believe it without a doubt, as if I've seen it through a telescope, the colors vivid and clear in my mind. No one truly understands the suffering we all endure. When we finally become adults, We might be able to look back on our current pain and loneliness with amusement, but how are we supposed to navigate this long, unpleasant period until then? No one tells us. Is it like measles, an illness that just has to run its course? But people die from measles, and some lose their sight. It's wrong to just ignore it. If we continue like this, day after day, feeling depressed, getting angry, we might lose our footing, fall into depravity, and ruin our lives. Some might even commit suicide. And after it happens, people will say, if only they had lived a little longer, they would have understood, or if only they had grown up a little more, they would have naturally come to understand. No matter how much we yearn to hear something from the world, straining our ears to listen, all we hear are meaningless platitudes, empty reassurances. We're constantly being shortchanged. We're not nihilists, but you point to a distant mountain and tell us, the view from the top is beautiful. And we know it's true, we don't doubt it for a second, but we're experiencing intense stomach pains right now, and you ignore them, telling us, just endure it a little longer, reach the mountaintop, and you'll be rewarded. Surely someone is mistaken. It's you who are wrong. I finish the laundry and clean the bathroom. I quietly open the fusuma to my room, and the scent of lilies greets me. It feels refreshing. My heart becomes transparent, and I achieve a state of sublime nihilism. I quietly change into my nightgown, and then Mother, who I thought was sound asleep, suddenly speaks, startling me. She does this sometimes. You said you wanted summer shoes, so I looked at some when I was in Shibuya today. Shoes have become expensive. It's okay, I don't want them that much anymore. But you need them, don't you? Yeah. Tomorrow will probably be the same as today. Happiness will never come. I know that. But it's probably best to go to sleep believing that it will, that tomorrow will be different. I deliberately throw myself onto the futon with a thud. It feels good. The cool futon against my back is soothing. Happiness arrives one night late. I vaguely recall that saying. Someone waited and waited for happiness, finally losing patience and running away from home. The next day, wonderful news of happiness arrived at the abandoned house, but it was too late. Happiness arrives one night late. Happiness. I hear Car's footsteps in the garden. Pat pat, pat pat. Car's footsteps have a distinct rhythm. Her right front leg is slightly shorter, and since her front legs are bowed, her gait has a melancholic quality. She often walks around the garden late at night. I wonder what she does. Car is pitiful. I was mean to her this morning, but I'll be nice to her tomorrow. I have a sad habit of not being able to sleep unless I cover my face with both hands. I cover my face and lie still. The feeling of falling asleep is strange. It's like a carp or an eel tugging on a fishing line. A heavy, leaden force pulls at my head with a string. As I drift off to sleep, the string loosens slightly. I regain consciousness. It tugs again. I drift off. It loosens. This repeats 3 or 4 times, and then finally, it pulls hard, and that's it until morning. Good night. I'm Cinderella without a prince. Do you know where I am in Tokyo? We'll never meet again.